Churroskians, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's, and everything else you may celebrate. We have a lot of pickups. Myself, Kitten Gnome, and Sonic Monkey are all here with some amazing pickups in this episode. I am super thrilled to show you guys what we've been up to, and what games we've been buying. So without further ado, we'll have Kitten Gnome start us off on the Switch games. Kitten Gnome, take it away.
First is Ghostbusters, the video game remastered. I really like this game, but there is at some part when you're in like this museum, if you play the game at a certain time, you have to catch the ghost before, or then if you don't catch him by the time your time is up, you have to try to do it tomorrow.
Huh. So what's the game like?
It's pretty hard, especially that point, because it doesn't tell you which time of the day to play it.
Interesting. You having fun with this one?
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. Shall we move on to the next game you have?
Yes. Second is Pac-Man World Repack 2.
Ooh, is this a kind of remaster or remake?
Yeah. So, I really like this one, especially the backstory where you're trying to find these golden fruits by all these ghosts.
Have you ever played the original Pac-Man?
No.
Never played the original Pac-Man, but don't they have some like original Pac-Man type of things inside this game? Oh, cool. It has a reversible cover.
Yeah.
Really neat. Look at that. That's pretty cool. So what's the game like, though?
It's a kind of a mixture between hard and easy and medium.
Would you say it's like a platformer? Like you jump from things to other things?
Yes. I like. Oh, and the bosses are really hard.
Uh-huh. I think you beat the giant mechanical frog, right?
Yeah.
That was pretty
the
cool.
First boss. I'm on this point where you're trying to jump on stoves.
Mm-hmm.
And the platforms that are not stoves. Oh, and some of the stoves are on and some of them are off. But then, and the other platforms without the stoves, they have those spiky ball things coming out of the ground.
That sounds really challenging.
Yeah.
I saw you were having a lot of fun with this one, playing it quite a bit, and then you kind of got stuck on a part.
Yeah, that was the part.
The part with the stoves.
Yeah.
It's all right. We'll work on it and get to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. That's a cool one. What do you have for us next? I think this is a Christmas gift.
Yep. Dogman Mission Impossible.
I see what they did there.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about this game.
So, this is basically like, he kind of, the author of the books, aka Dave Peaty or something, I think he worked to help make this game, and, he made it look like...
Oh, that's a very, very plain, kind of boring in there, huh?
He made it like, you're really in the game. And, that guy named Piggy up there has stolen the key to the city. I'm pretty sure it's right
The
here.
piggy stole the key to the city?
And he's getting living spray to make monsters they already fought.
Pretty cool. Did he play this one a lot or not yet?
I played it a lot.
You already played this one a lot?
Mm-hmm.
Did he get far?
Yeah. Oh, and in every single place, like downtown and the cop station, there's secret levels in every kind.
That's awesome. That sounds really cool. Isn't it like another platformer, kind of like Pac-Man?
Yeah.
Really
Kind
neat.
of.
And now for your last game, Kitten Gnome, we have something you've been playing quite a lot, and it's like I think your favorite game that you got for Christmas.
My Singing Monsters Playground.
My Singing Monsters Playground. What is this about?
It's like you can play with your friends and it's doing all these challenges, and there's like go faster and your walking will go up and faster.
Uh-huh.
The person to have the fastest rocket wins, and one which I really like, is where you're holding these globy things that light up, and they.
Is this inside the Switch right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you've been playing a lot of it, huh?
Where one person, like 3 persons, have globies, which are monsters that light up, and the other person has a hammer
That sounds really
that
cool.
tries to hit you, but that hammer, the only way to light up the hammer is by smacking it.
Smacking it?
Yeah. So the person with the globies won't know where you are.
Ah, okay. So this is, I was kind of watching you play it, and it kind of reminds me of like a party game type of thing. Like you get a lot of people and play different games, like kind of like a Mario Party type of thing.
Yeah, kind of.
That's pretty cool. I like that. I'm glad that you got what you really wanted for Christmas. Did you have a good Christmas with all your games?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Santa got me this one.
Santa got you that one. That's great.
And speaking about Super Mario,
I think Sonic Monkey is going to show us his next games. Are we going to see you in another episode next time?
Definitely.
Kitten Gnome, thank you for hanging out with us.
You're welcome.
All right, Sonic Monkey, take us through your couple of games.
This is Super Mario Wonder.
Ooh.
I've
heard good things.
I have gone through a little bit of it, and it is kind of wacky. I'm gonna say that.
How is it wacky?
There's like this elephant Mario,
Ooh.
and the pipes are living.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to go after these flowers with Bowser as this big castle thing.
That's pretty cool. I know you were a big fan of Bowser's Fury. Is this kind of like that?
Kind of.
Well, that's neat. That's a cool game. So it's a traditional, like, Mario platformer, huh?
Yes.
Very cool. Very neat game. Now show us the last game and the one you're most excited about.
Will do. Jurassic World Evolution 3.
Very cool. On the PlayStation 5, I see.
I'm a big fan of Jurassic World. And I would say this one is way better than 2 or 1.
Really? You like these simulation park builder things, don't you?
Yes. So, it is literally where you build a park with dinosaurs, just like Jurassic Park and Jurassic World.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you can customize your buildings, and there's a sandbox. I usually play sandbox, but there's also like a campaign, and one where you actually have money and you have to make a successful park, and it costs a lot of money to make dinosaurs.
That sounds pretty cool. How about inside? Is there any manual or anything cool in there?
Let's see. I don't think so.
Nah, it's super lame. But very cool. You've been playing this one a lot, right? You got I think about 6 or 7 hours in since Christmas on this one.
Mm-hmm.
And you never managed to beat, I think, Jurassic World Evolution 2. But we're going to try to beat this one, right?
Yep. Baby.
That's a baby dinosaur. That's one of the features, right? Baby dinosaurs are now a thing.
Yep.
That's really, really cool, buddy. Sonic Monkey, thank you for showing us your games. Will you be hanging out with us on the next episode?
Mm-hmm.
Outstanding. Thank you, guys. Say bye to everyone.
Bye.
All right, guys. So now that we got the adorable children out of the way, I'll go move on to my stuff now. I've been really busy buying a lot of crazy things. This episode is something else. Let's put it that way. Starting off with something that's really, really neat, in my opinion. I've got this Sansui Joy-Card SSS. It looks like a Famicom controller. Has some turbo functions for both the B and the A buttons. But it is actually meant to be played with your NTSC USA console. So you plug this bad boy in, and immediately you have more weight to this. It feels really, really nice in the hand. It has the rounded edges as opposed to the square things that might cut into your hands on the original NES controller. It has an audio jack here, and further down the cord there's a red AV cable, so you can set it up to your TV, so you can listen to your NES games through your audio jack, through your headphones of choice. Additionally, there's I don't know how to explain this properly because I haven't used the noise functions. I just really love this for the ergonomics more than anything in the field. This works perfectly, by the way. And basically, it has like a strange audio feature where when you have your headphones plugged in and you turn the feature on with this switch down here, if your character's on the left side of the screen, the audio will come in from your left headphone and vice versa for the right, which I think is a really neat feature. I have never seen this before. I thought this was some wonky third-party controller from God knows when, or made by who knows who, but this is licensed by Nintendo, made by Sansui, which made some. I have actually one of their CRTs in my closet as a backup. It's a great TV, but really cool, officially licensed product from 1989 or 1990, I think. It's amazing this thing works flawlessly. So I am really, really pumped to have this. Besides that, other cool little knickknacks. We see Ghost here from Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 holding my CRT remote. These cable guy statues are really neat. I like them. I could have ordered anyone or any character basically I wanted, but I thought Ghost just looks really cool, especially with my Metal Gear mat here that I have on this table, kind of keeping the military shooter theme. I think it's really, really neat. So besides that, now that we got knickknacks kind of out of the way, myself and the family, we all went to a really cool convention called Retro Play or Play It Again Florida or something like that. I forgot. The name escapes me right now. They didn't have like a lanyard or anything. They just gave me they had a bracelet and that's about it. But bought some really awesome things there. So without further ado, let's get to checking out the pickups that were exclusively from that convention. Starting up with a really nice copy of Phexanadu. What is Phexanadu? And I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but Phexanadu is basically your Legend of Zelda made by someone else. This by, I think, probably a third-party developer. Really amazing game. It's basically plays like Zelda 2 or a mixture of Castlevania 2 with the entering towns and talking to people, and they give you cryptic things to do. The graphics are pretty decent. There is no save battery in these. There's actually a lengthy password system for this. You can buy things, equipment, upgrade your dude, go on a pretty epic quest. It even says daggers and wing boots, mantras and monsters await you. It's supposed to be a really expansive tale that takes a while to beat. I played it very briefly to kind of check it out if it was working. It seems very nice. I'm excited to check it out again. Yeah, I've always wanted a copy of Xanadu, and I've always passed on it, but I couldn't pass on this time. So I have myself a nice copy. I'm happy to have it. All right, next up from the convention, we have another NES game, and this is really important to me. This is Donkey Kong 3 for the NES. It came with a little sleeve. So Donkey Kong 3 is neat because this was the very last game that I wanted for the NES. I mean, I'm still going to buy NES games when I see something that intrigues me, but this was the last one on my list of must-haves. And what makes it even more important than that, it was on my must-have list because I played this as a kid. I had this as a kid on a big multi-cart, and I remember playing this one a lot. This strays from the popular Donkey Kong formula of like you're jumping over barrels and stuff. You're essentially, Donkey Kong is sliding down these vines while bees come out of these beehives to try to attack you, while you use like a spray bottle to basically give Donkey Kong a colonic. And basically he doesn't like that, so he keeps scooting up. So you're supposed to keep him scooting up the vines before he drops down on you and wrecks your day. So really basic arcade game. Really neat. I'm happy, very happy to have this. I found a copy once or twice and they were really beat up. And then one in my favorite game store, they had a copy but complete in box, and I didn't want to pay that. So at the convention, it was great to pick this guy up here. I was very, very excited about it. Donkey Kong 3. All right, next we have the best $5 I've ever spent. There was a box of games, and basically the guy was saying that all the games in there were like $3. I offered him $5 for the next 2 games, and I beat both of these games. And these are fun. For what I paid, they were a lot of fun. This is Call of Duty World War II for the PS4. Nice and complete. This is just another generic World War II shooter, but it's done well. There's a couple of big set pieces, as you would expect from Call of Duty. This was a fun one. It took me about 6 or 7 hours to play through. World War II has been redone a million times. They kind of did some different things with some flamethrowers, and You're basically storming the beaches, just like in Medal of Honor Frontline, and which was really awesome to see it with the polish and the sheen of a more current console as opposed to my PS2. So this is a fun one. It was a cool little story, neat graphics, good gunplay. It gets a little hard. There are times that you'll be running around and all of a sudden you'll get a bazooka or a mortar jammed right into your face and you'll die out of nowhere. And you're just like, where did that guy come from? With pinpoint accuracy, But really, really fun shooter. And like I said, for $2.50, which I got this for, I really could not say no. And I'm very pleased with this purchase. The next one of that games from the box for $5 is a lot cooler. This is Titanfall 2. I remember when the first Titanfall came out, everyone loved that game, and it was Xbox exclusive, and everyone just talked about it. And I remember Titanfall 2 came out to a decent amount of fanfare, but then it kind of just disappeared. And I saw this, I played it, and this is great. It's a first-person shooter, just like Call of Duty World War II. I've already beaten this one too. It's another 6 to 8 hour game, and you play as the pilot. That's his name, the pilot. This guy here who runs along walls, does some acrobatics. Kind of reminds me of the Fear protagonist, it's like Point Man. He can slide around, cool melee skills. This mixes in a lot of platforming, actually, which I did not a super big fan of platforming in my first-person shooters, but it's there. And then you pilot this mech, the Titan, and then it gets crazy. Like, it gets really, really cool. Essentially, it's still it becomes a third-person shooter when you're in this mech. Well, still first-person, but I think you can switch to a third-person view. I'm not sure. And you can change out the loadouts on your Titan to have a sword, a shotgun, a laser, Gatling gun, all sorts of really cool things. Neat story, great graphics. It really gets cool when you are in the Titan and you fight rival Titans, and you have finishing moves so you can reach into the cockpit of the other Titan and rip out the pilot and crush them. I think it's really cool. The story's decent. Some cool time travel mechanics in one stage. This is a really, really fun game, and it's cheap as all heck. Like I said, $2.50. Fantastic game. I highly recommend it if you want to dip your feet into a shooter for a little bit. You cannot go wrong with this game. This was fantastic. All right. Then we get into some heavier games that I picked up at this convention. Let's go with Oni for the PS2. I've been looking for this copy or this game for a long time as well. Nice and complete. This is a CD format disc, so blue bottom disc alert. So everyone, I had to use the tape trick. It even came with the Rockstar Games catalog of 2001. A nice and complete manual with horribly done art of the main character, who I forgot her name right now. But this is a really cool Ghost in the Shell type vibes action game with really in-depth combat mechanics and hand-to-hand combat. Like, there's different moves for every direction you press. There's decent gunplay. The graphics are surprisingly decent for how old this game is. What is her name? Kanoko. Kanoko is the main character. But really cool game. I wanted this one forever. Really neat little, like, kind of shiny cover here. Holographic-ish detail going on there. But I've been looking for a copy for this. I passed on a few because they've always been beat up or missing the manual. And this was intact at a price I felt comfortable with. And I finally added Oni to my collection. From Rockstar Games, too. Pretty cool. All right, next up, we have the sole Wii game, of the whole video, but it becomes my favorite Wii game immediately. This is Sin and Punishment Star Successor. This is a nice and complete on-rail shooter-ish bullet hell type game where you're these two heroes that crash land somewhere. Excuse me. And basically, you get swarmed by all these aliens and robots, and you have to shoot them to pieces. You can dodge, you can fly, you get a little jetpack, you can move around. Your mobility around the screen is really, really great. Some cheesy voice acting, really, really nice graphics for the Wii. I think this was like a budget title when it came out, and if you guys ever see this, I know by now this game has a lot more fanfare for it and more of a cult following. What they're saying is not wrong. This is an amazing game. I love Sin and Punishment Star Successor. This is a fantastic addition to my library. And I really want to get back into this one. I played about an hour and had a blast. All right, let's see what we got next. This is a pretty heavy hitter that I picked up at the convention. The PlayStation 3 Best of PlayStation Network Volume 1. As complete as can be, because I don't think it never had a thing. This one vendor there was a collector, and he was selling his stuff at. He wanted his collection to go to a good home, basically his pieces, and he was not selling at market value. He was selling way below market value, and I got this for a steal. The games included on this are Vikings Unleashed, Sound Shapes, Tokyo Jungle, which we'll get into that in a second, and Fat Princess. I remember my brother played a lot of Fat Princess. Tokyo Jungle, I've always wanted to play this damn game because I've heard so many things about it. But the only way to play it for the longest was to basically on the PlayStation Network only. You know, I have to have a physical copy, so it's in this collection. As far as Sound Shapes and Vikings, I know nothing about them. But I played some Tokyo Jungle. This game is weird. I was a dog. I was killing hyenas as a dog and then foraging and making a nest. They called it a nest for the dog. And finding a lady canine to breed with and have puppies, and then they would follow your legacy. It's really interesting, really weird game. I was about to order the the Korean version of Tokyo Jungle because I think it might have had English, but that was kind of expensive too. I'm glad I waited and held out because I got this instead, and this is amazing. This is a great game. At least Tokyo Jungle is. I remember Fat Princess being great. I know that online might be dead for this, so I don't know if there's still people playing. But I know nothing about these two. But really, really awesome pickup. I'm super pumped about this. The last two games from the convention are doozies. I've been looking for this guy for a bit too. This is Vandal Hearts for the PS1. I overpaid a bit. Nice and complete. The manual. This is one of those cases that inexplicably was this big for no reason. And nice and complete with a disc there. Really early PS1 tactical RPG that I have lots of fond memories of playing as a kid. Basically, it's kind of like Tactics, but a little bit easier, or not easier. It's a hard game, but the tactical aspect of it is there. You play as a little ragtag band of dudes that fight the corrupt kingdom. You know how it goes, and you go on adventures. You meet wizards and clerics and all this. Excuse me, I'm battling like a slight cough, so I apologize in advance. But anyways, really cool game. Really enjoying it. I've played a few hours of it. I've beaten about 10 battles. The only downer on this game is that you can't really experience grind. You beat the maps once and go on. Kind of like Langrisser, which I don't mind too much, but it makes the future battles hard. And when your units die in battle, they don't permadeath, but they're gone for that battle. You can't bring them back. At least I haven't got the ability to do so yet. Which makes leveling up and grinding very difficult if they're gone for the rest of the battle. Obviously, I have a fear that some of the units will drop off. But really cool. There's a part 2 that's even more expensive. This game used to not be expensive until the last year. It kind of just jacked up in price. But part 2 is pricey. If I beat this and if I enjoy it as much as I think I will, because I really am liking my time with it right now, I will probably go for part 2. Vandal Hearts. The last game is a very interesting one. This is Hazard, Let Us Out. Complete in box. Signed by the creator. I forgot the dude's name. I'm so sorry. But I met him even. I'm just terrible with names. This is a love note that he made to the NES under his little publishing company. He worked on this for a long time. Multiple endings, crazy bosses, mechanized mayhem. This is like Mega Man. Think Mega Man. You're in a factory overrun by robots. There's a rogue AI. I'm going to gently try to open this because this box is very fragile. There we go. He offered to sign the box, and he did. And then he offered to sign the cartridge. I said, no, man, don't worry about it. I kind of kicked myself for it. He should have. I wish I would have had him sign the cartridge. Really cool black cartridge here. I've already actually beaten this. It took about an hour. Very short game, but really neat that to have this guy work on this. And then I talked to him for like a good half an hour about how much he likes games and how Mega Man was his inspiration. And this is an amazing little game that has multiple endings too. And some zany stuff that I've never seen anyone do. Like it has the platforming from Mega Man, but then it goes off the rails and your main character gets arrested and goes to You know, he goes to a courthouse in front of a judge, and depending on the choices that you made during your adventure, you get a different ending. I think I got the good ending. I'm assuming there's worse endings. Gilbert, the gentleman that his first name was Gilbert, I believe. I'm getting that wrong. I'm so sorry. But fantastic game. Let us out. If you see a ROM floating around, I guess I can't say, definitely get it. And if you can somehow pay for the ROM and put money in Gilbert's pocket, because he did a great job on this thing. This is fantastic. This is the first game I ever bought that's kind of like a homebrew game, really. I think I might have others, but I mean, meeting the creator of the game, having the sign in the box, really awesome experience that I will always remember. Awesome game. Hazard, let us out. All right, so that's it for the convention games. Really neat stuff. There was a couple games that I really wanted for a while for the PS5. Starting off with Silent Hill F. This is the, I believe, Korean copy, but it has English, and I played it in English. We know how much, if you guys want to steal that code to get, what's her name? I forgot her name already. If you want to get her some cool white outfits, go for it. Right there for you guys. First come, first serve. Really neat game. I've been on a horror kick. You know, we know how much games cost. So these are supposed to be $69.99. I got this game and another game from Play Asia, the Korean copies of both games, for $80 together. I couldn't say no. I'll show you the other game that I got in the bundle in a second. But I beat Silent Hill F already. This was fun. This is about 15 to 16 hours. I can see where, especially after playing Silent Hill 2, the remake to completion, I can see where the purists do not like this game. The combat is kind of takes the horror out of it, because as long as you have a weapon early on, I think the thing is about the weapons degrade. My weapon broke once or twice, and that's when things got hairy. But other than that, I had weapons and healing items aplenty throughout my playthrough, so it really wasn't ever that scary. Some of the enemies are unnerving, and the settings are, you know, intimidating and kind of scary for sure. But I think Silent Hill 2 is a lot scarier than this game. But it's still a fantastic game. It's a good experience. The story doesn't hold a candle to Silent Hill 2. People are saying, oh, the psychological horror. Me being a Silent Hill fan, newbie, kind of, I can kind of say, just after beating part 2, I can see where the issue is. The story is nowhere near as good. The psychological things, you can kind of see the turns coming from a mile away. But it's still a very good game. It's a lot of fun. It looks great. It runs great. It's a decent story, and it's a fun playthrough and very unique. There's some dream sequences that the main character goes through, that are really, really interesting, and then the combat really takes a turn for something totally different. So I can see the gripe, I can see the complaining of where it comes from. But cool game, Silent Hill F. All right, next game that I got in that bundle, and it's still wrapped because I haven't opened this one, is Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater. White Tuxedo bonus there. I haven't even opened the sucker yet. But this game you can also play in English. I had no interest really I think Metal Gear 3 Snake Eater didn't need a remake. I think if anything, a remake of the first game would be fantastic. But I have it, and I am definitely going to check it out at some point, because it's still cool. It's still cool to see a game remade, especially a game that I love so much, and to see how it is. I've seen some memes about Ocelot and how cringy his character is, how goofy it is, how funny it is. I am excited to dive back into this at some point, but for that price of $80 for 2 brand new PS5 games, I could not resist. And for you collectors out there, the spines are still nice in English, so they'll, no one will be any the wiser. So, cool little pickup. Got this and Silent Hill F for $80. And as a bonus, I love Play Asia. I don't know if this was a pre-order bonus or something, but it came with this little box, and I was like, what the hell is this? And check it out. It's actually really neat. These Metal Gear metal pins, I think there's 2 of them in here. The other one's nowhere near as cool. Come on, get out of here. If it would just get the hell out of this box. Here we go. It's the Delta sign. So, really neat. But Snake sneaking in the box, that's way cooler pen. But it came with that, so no extra cost. I think that was a really cool little bonus that they threw in addition to their stickers that PlayAsia always throws in. So I really like that. I love PlayAsia. PlayAsia is like one of my favorite places to order from. Definitely a lot cooler to order from PlayAsia than Limited Run. But yeah, Metal Gear Snake Eater. All right, next up, I've been rating GameStop and other stores, but first, let's get one thing out of the way. Let's get something out of the way. Expedition 33 on the PS5. I picked this up on a whim. I was about to pick up something else that I did end up picking up that you'll see later. Because I heard so many great things as a big RPG fan. This is immediately after completing it, which took me about between 60 to 70 hours to beat the crap out of this game, except for one super boss that just pissed me off, that I kind of quit on, is immediately my top 3 RPGs of all time. The hype is real. Play this game. It's amazing. The setting, the characters, the music. I jam out to some of these tracks, sometimes riding around at work. I listen to the music. I think about the story, the characters, the combat is fantastic. Think of how Mario RPG got you involved by time button presses for combos or for blocks or for dodges, and just jack that up by like 10 and just ramp it up. It's so good. The characters are so likable. Everyone is so there. It's just, I have no words for how good this game really is. This is definitely, it's kind of weak to say it's the gem of the pickups and what I've enjoyed the most, but it kind of is. This is such a good game. If you are on the fence about it, you're like, I don't know, weird French people RPG, I don't know, it's kind of whatever. No, man, don't sleep on this. This is a must-have for anyone that even remotely likes RPGs. You do yourself a favor and pick this up. All right, let's keep it going. GameStop has been on fire, but I picked up, so let's get rid of some boring stuff first. I picked this up, Battlefield Bad Company 2, the limited edition, Defining Online Warfare, which I can't play this online because it's old. I was actually inspired. Gnarly Seabass had a stream on Battlefield Bad Company 2 where he said the best Battlefield ever, ? And so I picked it up based on that alone. It was very cheap. It's missing the manual, so much for my limited edition being like really cool. It's in the PS3 right now because I was trying the campaign. Pretty standard bro guy military shooter. I played a few missions. It's okay. It's very difficult. I feel like the kills come out of nowhere, even more so than World War II Call of Duty. So, but yeah, it's there. It's Battlefield Bad Company 2. I was about to buy this or Battlefield Bad Company 3. It was on the day that I bought the Sansui Joy card. That was the star of the show that day for sure. But neat game. I have it. I'm gonna try it a little bit more to see if I can beat the campaign. I never beat a Battlefield game before, and this figured to be a good place to start on this one here. So yeah, Battlefield Bad Company 2. All right. Next up, let's go to those saying about GameStop being absolutely bananas lately. I picked up some amazing things at GameStop. Let's start off with, they had crazy sales, and they had PS3 games. Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2. This copy's a little beat up, but can't complain really. They had this crazy buy 2 or buy 3 used, get 1 free. So some of these games were free. This game sucks. This game really sucks. Lords of Shadow 1 is fantastic. This one sucks. The story is intriguing about what happens to Gabriel after the events of Lords of Shadow 1. But there's these stupid stealth elements that really suck and bring down the experience. If you remember, the original Lords of Shadow is kind of like a gothic God of War clone, basically, with your chain whip or your chain cross. This one, though, like you have Dracula claws, you turn into bats, you have holy and light powers, because whatever. Yawn, snooze fest. I probably will not play this. I just needed to complete the duology on the PS3. I've been looking for this one for a bit. I found it extremely cheap at GameStop. I like it, and I pulled the trigger. And yeah, here it is. Might be the stinker. The stinker right here of the pickups. Lords of Shadow 2 sucks. Let's continue with other games that I got for the PS3 at GameStop. This is Driver San Francisco. Dang, is this game cool. Nice and complete. Again, GameStop has been really on fire for me lately. Driver San Francisco is a cool game. It's my only driver game in the series that I own in my collection. You play as this police detective who, slight spoiler alert on this very old game, he at some point dies or goes into a coma, and then his spirit goes into other drivers across the city. So sometimes you're controlling the body of an ambulance driver as you drive your body to the ambulance as fast as you can. And then you do police stuff in another car. I've played this very briefly, but it looks really cool. Like, it has an awesome story. The driving is it's supposed to be excellent because Driver is supposed to be more realistic than Arcadia, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, you guys. But it takes a little bit to get a hold of the driving for me. I'm working on it. But I've always wanted to get Driver San Francisco, and I finally got myself a copy. Really, really cool. And the biggest PS3 game that I picked up at GameStop was Deadpool. Nice and complete. I actually played Deadpool for a couple hours. It's not a very good game. It's a third-person hack and slash, kind of like God of War light. He has guns. He has swords. He says sassy things that break the fourth wall. It runs not all that great. I know there's a PS4 version that sells for ungodly amounts of money, but I think there was someone that did a tech breakdown, and basically the differences between both versions, they both supposedly run not that great. So for about a third of the price of what the PS4 version goes for, I picked this up on the PS3. And I'll probably play this through all the way. It has lots of nods to the Marvel Universe, which is pretty cool. There's some cameos. I think Wolverine will pop up later. Deadpool kind of annoys me in this. He just chats way too much, and he's not as funny as he is in the movies. But it's cool to have this. I finally picked this up, and I'm enjoying it enough. And I really wanted this one for a while. So yeah, Deadpool. Next up, we got the last two games that I kind of want to talk about that kind of jumped out at me at GameStop that I got in that sale. Mario Hoops 3-on-3 on the Nintendo DS. I heard that the red cases came out because it was an anniversary of Mario at some year, so they put all Mario-related games in red cases. I'm missing the manual, unfortunately, for this one, but the cartridge is there. I played this very briefly. It's a goofy little sports game, 3-on-3. Actually had a decent amount of fun. You dunk the ball mainly, you shoot it, you gather coins. You have a decent little assortment of Nintendo characters to pick from. Mario, Luigi, Donkey Kong, Peach. I think Waluigi's in there, or Wario. You know, the usual suspects. But really cool. I never heard of this one before. And their sale was so good that I just couldn't say no. I picked up another DS game, actually, there. I'll show you right now. But yeah, Mario Hoops. If anyone knows more about this one, or you remember this from when you were a kid, let me know. This was the cooler of the two. This is Mario Party DS at GameStop also. And this one is nice and complete. With, once again, I love it when I can find this, the every pamphlet type of thing, like the health and precaution and the manual itself. I played this one for a bit. This is the only Mario Party game I have in my collection. It's supposedly not very good. I enjoyed it for what it was. I can see the appeal, and I can imagine back in the day playing this with a buddy while, you guys were on a road trip or something, and sitting in the back of your car, of your mom's station wagon. This must have been kind of cool to play Mario Party games on the go. I played I made a file and started playing, and played some of the mini games. I remember watching my brother play Mario Party on his GameCube back in the day, and some of the mini games looked really cool. Some of them look terrible, but I know that Mario Party has a big following, and I wanted to get in on the hype by getting myself this copy, and it was really cheap. GameStop was out of control. It really, really cool little pickup. All right, moving on. Got some other stuff I picked up at assorted stores. This is Deception 4, the Nightmare Princess for the PlayStation 4, by Tecmo. If you guys remember from a long time ago, I had picked up a copy of Trapped for the PS2. Which is basically Deception whatever, not 4, obviously it's further back in the PS2 library. This is kind of like one of the sequels that has the same character. I forget her name from Trapped. And in addition, it has the Nightmare Princess. Geez, this is kind of weird to explain how this game works. You are either her or her, depending on whatever storyline you're playing, and you're basically evil, and there are heroes coming in to kill you, and you set up traps like swinging pendulum blades, spikes from the ground or the walls, bungee traps, fire traps to trap these guys, and you can even chain traps together, slam boulders on them, light people on fire to kill the invaders that are trying to kill you. The story kind of blows in this one. It's a lot of exposition, and it's kind of cringy exposition. And I do not enjoy the gameplay as much as when I played Trapped. I beat Trapped. I played this for like half an hour and got bored. I wanted this one for a long time too, though. See, that's how it works sometimes with these us collectors, you know? We got our hands on the game we wanted, and then it's like, oh, this is not that good. I enjoyed Trapped more. Sure, the graphics are nicer here, and the controls are smoother, but I think maybe the nostalgia or the novelty wore off after I played Trapped, and now this is just kind of more of the same, but kind of done a little sloppy. I think this was a Vita game, and then it was ported to the PS4. Maybe that's why there's a lack of polish here. But kind of a harder game to find, and I had been eyeballing this copy for a bit. I picked it up, and I don't super regret it. I never really regret picking up a game, but this was just, it was okay. But the stinker is still that other game that it's got Lords of Shadow. I'd rather play this for the rest of my life than play Lords of Shadow for another day. But yeah, Deception 4, Nightmare Princess. More PS4 goodness. BloodRayne Betrayal Fresh Bites. I ordered this off of eBay. Nice and complete with the manual or the art book, I guess it would be, because these are limited run games that make it out later. Or is this a poster? No, it's a manual. It's a very small manual with some art. The main reason I got this is because it's made by WayForward. They make cool stuff. This is a 2D beat 'em up where you play as Rain, and this completes my BloodRayne collection, as I have parts 1 and 2 on the PS2, and I love those games. Especially part 1 is phenomenal. This game is not very good. It's okay. It's old. It's been around for a bit. I was having an okay time with it until it got to a point where I could transform into a raven or something and have to fly through a spike maze, and the controls were kind of wonky and they pissed me off, so I stopped playing. But I do eventually want to beat this one. Another thing that bothers me about this game is that it has like an arcade scoring system where it rates you based on how slick your combos are and how fast you kill enemies. Like, I like to kind of take my time. I know this is a faster paced game, but I shouldn't be dinged or given a D ranking or an F ranking for taking my time and being cautious and actually beating the level. You know, I mean, that's just me. But really cool art style, like hand drawn, like Saturday morning cartoons style drawing, a little bit darker, more gothic. I'm not sure about the story. I think you're sent to invade a castle with some other members of the Brimstone Society. You play as Rain, hack people up, unlock combos, unlock more moves. It's an okay game. The main reason I really wanted it was to complete the trilogy of the BloodRayne games, and I finally have it. And I will delve back into this guy at some point and give it a shot. An honest go. I picked this up at GameStop too on that sale. This is Darius Burst EX, another Chronicle Plus. For those of you guys that know, this is the fish monster or biomechanical fish monster space shooter. Really cool thing about this game, when you play it on your TV, it mimics the old elongated look of it, like the elongated cabinets. Like, it looks like two screens together for that horizontal shoot 'em up goodness. This is the hardest shoot 'em up I have in my collection immediately. I think the first boss kept wrecking me over and over. The graphics are beautiful. The controls are smooth. I have no one to blame but myself. I am happy that I have this. This and Cinemora and the PS4 are very, very difficult shooters. This one, I think, takes the cake. It's a little bit harder, but really cool. I love shoot 'em ups. I love the Darius series, the R-Type series, things like that. Raiden, I love that stuff. So I saw this. I never seen this copy out in the wild before, and I like Darius Twin on my Super Nintendo. So I said, why not? And then I got my ass kicked from left to right, from that elongated screen, from one side of that elongated screen all the way to the other. I got annihilated and wrecked. And I think it has 2-player simultaneous play. For couch co-op goodness, there's 1 to 4 players actually can play this at a time, I guess. I don't know if it's online only or couch co-op only or both, but really cool feature. Really, really hard game. but a great addition to my shoot 'em up library. Let's go on with more stuff from that GameStop crazy sale. This is Kena, Bridge of Spirits, getting into PS5 stuff. Nice and complete with the stickers of the rot characters that are after. I beat this game already. Took about 15 hours-ish, maybe 12 to 15 hours. Really, really cool game. I like these characters a lot now after playing. I'm going to probably put these stickers around. This is the deluxe edition, I guess, because it came with a sticker sheet and I think a costume for her that I didn't use for Kena. Third person hack and slash with lots of puzzles, like kind of Zelda-ish. Think of that. With a pseudo open world that's actually very linear, which works for me because I don't want to. I tend to kind of stray away from open world games lately. They take up too much of my time. I have too many things to play, obviously. Really cool game made by these guys named Ember Lab. It's their first game. They dabbled mainly in animation, and you can tell it looks like a Pixar movie that you're playing. You play as Kena. She's a spirit guide sent to dispatch spirits of the dead to pass on. Basically, they can't leave peacefully because they have unfinished business or they need help. And these little rot characters come along to kind of like Pikmin. They move things for you. They can take the shape of a slug monster to destroy the evil spirits and the barriers around the environment. There are lots of environmental puzzles that you can use with your upgrades. You have a bow. These bombs that you throw that create a thing that lift up platforms in the blast radius. Really, really cool game. Great graphics. It seems like a little kid game and it seems really easy. But then all of a sudden the bosses come and they wreck you. They destroy you. They pound you into the dirt. There were a few bosses in this game that made me rage pretty hard and get very, very upset at Kena, the Bridge of Spirits, because the combat is not excellent, but the platforming is fantastic. The mechanics for platforming are phenomenal. The story's really good. Graphics are beautiful. Soundtrack is phenomenal. The collectability, you collect little hats for your rot guys, which is way more addictive than I thought it would be because you see them wearing them in real time. I had at the end of the game, I had around 70 of these little guys following me around. Really cool. So this was like a launch game for the PS5, and it was also on PS4 actually. But it came out around launch, and I've always wanted it, and I kind of just skipped on it, and I saw it at this sale. And I just couldn't say no. Along with the next game that I also saw in the sale same story. I wanted it for a long time. Let's check it out. This is Returnal. Returnal, I wish I could return you. This is a third-person PlayStation Studio launch game for the PS5 that I always thought looked so awesome. And it's like a roguelite, and I like my roguelites to a certain degree, but this game just doesn't do it well. Everything looks kind of generic. And dang, have graphics come a long way in the 5 years since this released, or almost 5 years since it released. This game doesn't look that great anymore. It controls okay, the shooting is okay, but the monsters are annoying. The upgrades aren't very clear on what upgrade you're getting on your roguelite progress. It's like, am I increasing my rate of fire? Am I increasing my clip size, my damage output? My defense, the story's kind of bleh. It's whatever. This is Returnal. It's not the stinker, but it's not what I thought it would be. I thought this game was going to be a blast. I'm glad I have it though, because as much as I love my PlayStation 5, I think I play a lot more indies than big budget releases, and this was supposed to be a AAA release, and one of the few that was a AAA release at launch for the PS5. So I'm glad I have Returnal. I don't see myself going back to this. I actually deleted this off the hard drive already. I played it for about an hour and got bored. Yeah, Returnal. Next up, let's go with more PS5 stuff. This is another cool game I picked up at GameStop. This is the Oregon Trail, the deluxe edition. And I know you're thinking, Churrasco, the Oregon Trail, what the heck? I have some Cowboys and Critters DLC that I don't want to give you. I actually want to use this. And it came with postcards. Really, really cool. You guys remember, if you're as old as I am, playing Oregon Trail in elementary school on the computer, in computer lab? Computer lab, that's right, not computer class, computer lab. This is basically a remake. It still has a pixelated charm to it, and it's in color now. Mine was, I think, mainly in green and black. And I think some of the later ones had like lots of blues and greens, but it looked like something that was done on MS Paint. But yeah, really cool. I played this for a couple hours. It's still the same traditional formula, but you can pick who comes with you, and each explorer or pioneer has their individual traits. Some are better at hunting, some are better at foraging, Some are better at cooking. Some have bad traits. Like I had this one girl on my caravan that literally tripped, hurt her knee. Then a rifle went off by accident like the next day and shot her in the leg. So she had a bullet wound and it was terrible. She got a fever. And then after she recovered from that, or was in the process of recovering, she got bit by a snake. So I was like, dang. And my son was even like, oh, I think we need to get rid of Sarah, Dad. And I was like, I think you agree that she really sucks. But this is a cool game. I want to dive back into it and play it some more. I'd never made it to Oregon when I played back in Computer Lab, so maybe this time I will. It's a lot more in-depth than the original, obviously, but it's a really, really fantastic little game. And I was been kind of looking for it, and I saw it at the GameStop, and I was like, oh, well, why not? Why not? And I do not regret it for a bit. Oregon Trail is a great remake of the original for the PS5. All right, next game. I got this. This is what I was talking about. The other game that I almost picked up instead of Expedition 33. This is Wu Chang Fallen Feathers, the Day 1 edition. I already used the DLC code on this, so he won't be getting it. The Knight and the White Pack, it doesn't matter. A Souls-like. I haven't played a Souls-like in a long time, and this is supposed to be a decent one. It's okay. It's okay. I think the combat is whatever. It's just I feel like I can't customize the main character. I think her name is Wu Chang. Abilities as much as I would like. It's has a lot of cheap hits sometimes from enemy placements. The bosses are really cool. I like the setting. The setting is really nice. More Asian-inspired culture. It's really, really cool. Fun game. I played about 10 hours of this so far, and I kind of came out of the PS5 for a bit for other games that I've been playing. But I'm excited to have Wu Chang, and I got to see if I really start enjoying it even more, because it's been a long time, like I said, without playing Souls-likes. And I kind of want to get Wukong, because that's supposed to be even better. And if I enjoy that, and if I don't enjoy those games or these games, then I kind of just have to kind of lay back and think that maybe only Dark Souls and Demon Souls can really do it for me as far as the originals, for the Souls type games. But this is still a good game. This is a very good game. I just expected a little bit more, but not a bad time. I will definitely get back into this and try to beat this one, even though there are some portions that maybe want to pull my hair out. But yeah, Wu Chang, Fallen Feathers. The next PS5 game is still sealed. Also, this is Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance by Atlus. I love Shin Megami Nocturne Remake on the PS4. And Amazon was basically giving these away. This was, I think, like $17. At that price, my wife saw it and was like, hey, you want this game? I was like, yeah, I do. And I've wanted this one for a while, so got it, ordered it, haven't played it yet. I know it's more traditional RPG, time-based battle type of thing, with a very dark themes, kind of like Nocturne. I love Nocturne. I played about 20 hours, and then I got stuck on a boss, and I kind of put it down and abandoned it. And I heard these games are massive, so this is going to take me a long time. But I do plan on playing this at some point. I know that this is the upgrade to the vanilla Shin Megami Tensei 5. The Vengeance is supposed to be better with more content or something, and a bigger game. This is supposed to be like correct me if I'm wrong, an 80 to 100 hour game. So yeah, at some point when I have enough time, Revenge will await me for a bit, because I will get to it at some point. But yeah, really cool. This next one is really neat. This is Crow Country for the PS5. Something is lurking in the shadows. A very pixelated Final Fantasy VII PS1 aesthetic going on here. A survival horror game. The only reason I took the wrapping off this, because I haven't played this yet, is because the disc was loose inside and rattling, so I had to tear into it, unfortunately. Really cool little instruction booklet in color. Mara Forrest is your main character. Really, really neat art style. Came with a map of Crow Country, of the theme park. It's a haunted theme park. And it has a little pamphlet, little thingy for Crow Country merch, like shirts and a plush. And it says, what else we have here? Other games available from Fangamer, like Hollow Knight. I have Hollow Knight. I want Celeste. But anyways, I'm getting really, really neat. This was has a reversible cover too, I believe, in here. This was an indie game that came out a while ago. If you guys Remember, it finally got a physical release, and I heard so many good things. And I am on this horror kick lately, so I kind of had to. I couldn't resist. It was I pre-ordered it on Best Buy, which Best Buy, don't sleep on Best Buy either. Best Buy has some great pre-order stuff. I got The Messenger on PS5 through them. But yeah, this is really, really. Oh, the cover is a little wonky here. Let me fix that. I'm excited to eventually play this and check it out. People say it's like old school Resident Evil, but the aesthetic really gives me that Final Fantasy VII PS1 feel. Really excited to have Crow Country, and I don't think it's a super long game, so I will definitely dive into this one soon. Well, it would be soon if I wasn't playing Ghost of Yotei, which is one of my Christmas presents for my family. Really, really amazing game. I never got around to playing Ghost of Tsushima. I might have to after this. I am about 10 hours in. Sometimes the combat makes me want to yank my hair out. You play as this female warrior and on a quest for revenge. Open world, think Red Dead Redemption 2 in Japan, and you'll get the idea. Made by PlayStation Studios and Sucker Punch. Really awesome game, fantastic graphics, fantastic music. The combat is really intricate and really elaborate, and sometimes I guess I'm just getting old and I don't know what to do with these anymore. And I'm all over the place and pressing the wrong button at the wrong time for parries, or throwing out smoke bombs when I don't need to, or the worst, using a health thing when I'm at full health. It's annoying stuff like that. Just, you really can only play like this game at a time by itself. Not to get mixed up with any other control scheme. Really cool story. I'm excited to see where this game takes me. This is supposed to be a long game, a massive open world. I passed on Ghost of Tsushima because there was a lot of stuff to play, but I couldn't resist this. This was actually this was a birthday present, because your boy had his birthday recently in late November. But really cool game. And I am super pumped to own Ghost of Yotei and keep playing this one. Let's skip around a little bit. This is another. Let's continue to wrap up the birthday presents. Star Renegades. So I said that Expedition 33 was a gem, and this is actually in the PS4 right now. This might be the gem. Guys, do you like roguelites, even remotely? Even a tiny little bit? Well, and do you have Amazon? Because for $20, you can get yourself a brand new copy of Star Renegades. And this game is amazing. You control this ragtag band of space explorers, and they go on runs basically to repel these foreign invaders from these planets before the big bad mechanical monsters come down, the planet crushers. And if you're strong enough, you can beat the planet crushers and get closer to the hypothetical end game of this roguelite. But it's very difficult, and the combat is like old school turn-based, like RPG-ish, with a cool 16-bit graphic aesthetic. And the combat is neat because you'll see the turn order. Depending on what attack, you can push the enemy's turn order further back and push them into the hole. You can have 2 turns before the enemy attacks if you plan your moves properly. You can choose which adventure. You can unlock more adventures with all unique skills for each run. Each run is kind of lengthy. They take I think my runs took about an hour each, and I kept losing. Very, very hard game, but really cool sense of progression. This is a really fun game. Star Renegades really surprised me. I played this actually a lot more than I thought I would. But yeah, if you like roguelites, if any of that sounds remotely cool to you, pick up Star Renegades. This is a gem right here that is totally overlooked, and no one really talks about this game. Star Renegades is phenomenal. All right. I picked up some cool other things. Let's go with some PS1, another PS1 game. This is Mortal Kombat Trilogy, the greatest hits for the PS1. Nice and complete. I have a story behind memories of Mortal Kombat as a child. So when I was a kid, I loved Mortal Kombat 1 and 2. Of course, it was, who could avoid Mortal Kombat, all the bloody spectacle. And then Mortal Kombat 3 came out on console. I had Mortal Kombat 2 on console. I still have it, my box copy on the Super Nintendo. And then Mortal Kombat 3 came out on the Super Nintendo, and I bought that. And I remember I had dreams about Mortal Kombat 3 the night before buying it. I was that excited. that I wanted all these characters. I thought it was going to be so awesome. And it became so underwhelming and so lame. How some of my favorite characters were cut out completely. Like no Scorpion, no Reptile. You know, the ninjas I thought were the coolest when I was a kid, and they weren't there in Mortal Kombat 3. Then Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 came out. I got that also on the Super Nintendo and kind of rectified a lot of problems. But Trilogy came out only on the PS1 and Nintendo 64. And, you know, that new collection, obviously, it's on different collections now. But I always wanted Trilogy because you could play, the cool thing about the PlayStation copy is you could play as the boss monsters like Goro, Kintaro, Motaro, and even Shao Kahn himself. So, and this has the most characters in that time of any Mortal Kombat. So I've wanted this for a long time. I was about to pick it up for Nintendo 64 because it has this has atrocious load times. This game on Nintendo 64 it doesn't, but you can't play as Motaro and Kintaro and Goro and Shao Kahn. So that's kind of like a deal breaker for me right there, man. So yeah, traditional Mortal Kombat, old school Mortal Kombat. This game is on fire. Really, really awesome. How many characters in the sucker? 32 immediately playable characters plus 4 classic characters. So you can change, actually, the skins on some of the characters, like Raiden can be Raiden from Mortal Kombat 1. I think there's a couple other characters, like Jax could have his metal arms or not have his metal arms. Really, really neat. I'm excited to have this. And by the way, I need to give a shout out to my parents because a lot of the pickups from the holiday season where they my birthday, a lot of these games that you've seen have been because they helped me out, and they not helped me out, but they gave me really cool Christmas money. Myself and Harley Seabass have awesome parents, so thank you, Mom and Dad, if you're watching. But yeah, really, really awesome game. And continuing, we have on the PS2 the Sonic Mega Collection Plus. I've wanted this for a while now because I think the cover art is cool. This has classic Sonic games, such as Sonic 1, 2, 3, Sonic and Knuckles, Sonic 3D Blast, Sonic Spinball, Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, and some unlockable games that are to believe are Game Gear games. A lot of these kind of suck, especially not the original Sonic games, or the originals 1, 2, and 3 are great games. Some of them are kind of lame. Spinball, I have a complete in-box copy on the Genesis, if you guys remember from a while ago. That one game is okay. But this is cool to have. This was very cheap. And I'm a big fan of anything that preserves older games, moving them up a little bit more, even though PS2 is very old by now. But cool to have this collection, Sonic Mega Collection Plus. Plus, because I think it came out originally on other systems, maybe the GameCube first, and it was missing some games, or didn't have all the games that this has. So this is really cool. And my kids love Sonic. They're big Sonic fans, so, maybe they'll get a chance to check this one out too. See what else we got here. Winding it down a little bit. Another really neat one. This is Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories. Nice and complete. It even has the poster, the big poster, and the manual back here. Let me see if I can. Big manual. Yeah, there it is. There's the manual, the big poster. Really, really cool. Nice and complete. Very crisp, very minty copy of Liberty City Stories. The funny thing about this game, the store I bought this at was the same store I bought Mortal Kombat Trilogy on for the PS1. I had originally picked up a really cool copy of Mortal Kombat 2 Shaolin Monks. As you guys know, that's a really, really cool game in the Mortal Kombat universe. And when I took it home to test it, I opened the case for Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks, and inside was a copy of Mortal Kombat Deception, which is also a game I don't have, but a game I didn't necessarily want to buy at that moment. I wanted my Shaolin Monks. So I was pissed. So I was annoyed. I went back to the store and I said, hey, can you guys, what the heck? Can you guys see, look, you guys sold me the wrong game. And they're like, oh man, my bad. So they went in and they got the Deception case, and that was empty because they keep their game in drawers, kind of like GameStop. They dug around and they didn't, ultimately, to make a long story short, they did not find a copy of Shaolin Monks. So at some point, either they bought the wrong game from whoever sold them their stuff, or or they just they got bamboozled, or I don't know, or they sold the Shaolin Monks in another Mortal Kombat case, and that person lucked out because Shaolin Monks is excellent. So I was like, all right, well, I'll just trade it for a game of about the similar price, same value. So I walked out with Liberty City Stories. I'm kind of glad I did. I played this for a couple hours, and I was having a lot of fun because it reminded me of the goofy radio stations, the third person antics of blowing cars up, getting chased by the cops, getting into random fist fights with people. The missions were very bite sized because this was originally a PlayStation, not a Vita, oh my god, the PSP. Yeah, I'm losing my mind here. The PSP. There's a PSP port, it originally came out on the PSP and was ported to the PS2. Along with also the other port is the Grand Theft Auto Vice City Stories, which is a much harder game to come by, and I want it because I have Liberty City Stories. But this is cool. I'm definitely actually going to go dive back into this. I enjoyed my time. This was a really fun game. If you guys see it laying around at a price that makes you comfortable and you want to play some old school Grand Theft Auto goodness and that maybe you might have skipped out on this one, I recommend this. This is a lot of fun. Cool game. All right, winding it really down, we have 3 games left. We're going to go ahead and check out this really cool copy of Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3. Unfortunately, I'm missing the manual, but that's okay because I am probably going to go on Etsy and order a replacement manual for this game. And for those of you that don't know, I'm a pretty big Dragon Ball Z fan. I watched the cartoon a lot when I was a kid, when I was younger. The Frieza saga, the Cell saga, and the Saiyan saga, of course, were my bread and butter. Toonami played those back to back and then started looping them over and over. And I watched those sagas each like 3 times maybe. So big fan. This is a fighting game mainly, one-on-one, or there's team battles I believe too, with a ton of characters from the Dragon Ball Z universe and GT. And I don't even know the names of the other ones because I haven't watched Dragon Ball. I'm not up to snuff on my Dragon Ball. But really, really cool. A ton of characters in this game. There's 150 characters with 10 different modes, 20 stages, endless challenges. The voice acting is excellent. They sound, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's the original voice cast from the cartoon from the American voiceover. I'm really thrilled to have this game. It has like a cool cel-shaded style that has aged wonderfully. The controls are kind of hard. I haven't figured it out yet, how to play perfectly. I keep losing. I haven't won a single match yet, but there's a cool story mode and there's cool challenges that I'm really looking forward to play those. This is a bit of a banger, a bit of a crown jewel for the PS2 collection. It's a very hard to come by game. Very thrilled to have this. I'm going to complete it with a Etsy manual, and this is awesome. I'm definitely going to dive back into this game, and it's kind of cool because seeing all these characters, especially the ones I don't know, make me want to be like, hey, maybe I kind of want to watch Dragon Ball Z again. Be kind of neat. So, really, really awesome pickup, Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3. The next one is a Christmas present from the family. This is Hotel Barcelona. Really weird game. This game is a joint effort. This alone might pique your interest, guys, by Swery and Suda51, the creators of such strange games as the Nier series and what's it called? What's that game? Deadly Premonition and Lollipop Chainsaw made you this roguelite 2D brawler with 3D graphics and 2D plane. You play as a U.S. Marshal that gets trapped in the titular Hotel Barcelona in her nightmares, and she fights horror-themed monsters from different movies, like spoofs of them. Like there's a spoof of Jason Voorhees, this guy that's like in a football helmet, and he also has a baseball mitt. He loves all sports. And basically, you go around, you have a time limit in each room you're in, and you find different doors, and each door, depending on which path you take, gives you different upgrades. And then the timer restarts when you enter the room, and you have about 3 minutes to clear each room, including the boss rooms, which I haven't beaten a single boss yet because you get destroyed. It's very difficult. This is not the most polished game, unfortunately. The combat feels a little wonky. Controlling your main character feels a little off, and there's no real good feedback of when you make strikes on enemies. But the weirdness that Suda51 and Swery bring is there. The characters are all eccentric. The voice acting is hilariously wonky. There's weird dialogue. There's strange stuff, strange cutscenes. Really, do not play this game in front of kids. If you have kids, please don't. Just do yourself a favor, don't. It's really, really weird. It gets really crazy. It's a fun time, though. It's kind of gory. I can see the appeal. I'm going to actually play this again soon. I played about an hour to check it out. And I'm going to dive back in because I enjoyed my time with it. So Hotel Barcelona for the PS5 is actually a cheap game also right now. And it might become a cult classic because of its co-creators there. Really, really cool game. All right, the last game I have is a grail for sure. This is Robot Alchemic Drive, or RAD, for the PS2 by Enix. Immaculate copy in an original PS2 case, complete with its manual and registration card. Super crisp. You swear that it had been printed yesterday. This is a CD format game, so be ready to blue bottom disc alerts and use your tape trick to make this not strain your old fat PS2. Oh man, this game. So, this came from the same store where I had the Shaolin Monks fiasco, and maybe because of that, the guys did me a solid. This game was in the case at below market price. I'm not going to say prices. I'm not going to inflate anything here. You can look this up. It was priced below. They had a sale for 15% off for Christmas. I came in after the sale was done, but I didn't know, and I asked, you guys still have that 15% off sale? And he says, no, but I gotcha. And he did me a great solid and saved me a bunch of money on this, actually. I got this for a steal, and this game is amazing. It's an earlier PS2 game. You can tell by the CD format, but it's phenomenal. You don't create anything, but how to explain this? You would think that you pilot this mech. You do control the mech, fighting kaiju in the city. But you take the viewpoint of the pilot that's outside of the robot. You can kind of see in the art it's depicted there. Basically, you are playing from the perspective of this character. And you got to move them around to better vantage points, like on top of skyscrapers, or maybe on top of the robot's shoulder itself, to kind of see the battles up close. And then you basically control the robot from that perspective, from the protagonist's perspective. And there's like 3 different protagonists and 3 different robots that you can pilot. And it's really neat. You have sub-weapons and laser swords, cannons, melee punches. Get this, the melee punches are controlled with the right analog and left analog stick, respectively, for your right and left. Really, really neat, kind of like Punch-Out. The cannons, lasers are controlled by the face buttons, really. But how do you move your robot? You hit L1 to move the left foot, R1 to move the right. You hit L1, he lifts the left leg, you let it go, he steps forward. R1, so you hit L1, R1 to move forward. And to rotate the robot, you have to press R1 and R2 at the same time to move, turn, like tank-like, turn right. Tank turn left with L1 and L2 at the same time. To jump, you like hold down the L1 and R1 to make the robot squat. You release and he jumps. Really, really crazy, innovative style. And the whole time you got to be mindful when you're playing, because you can, by pressing select, you control the pilot that's running around in the cityscape. So what you basically have to do is run him somewhere safe where you can still kind of see the fight, and then switch to the robot to control him and be mindful of where you're destroying buildings, because all the environments are fully destructible. And make sure that the pilot doesn't get caught in the debris or crushed by you or the kaiju or enemy robot you're fighting, or else he'll lose health and you could lose. So really amazing game. I played through the tutorial levels to get me used to the controls. There's a traditional option, if that sounds scary, to control the robot like in a more normal scheme. But part of the appeal is that crazy control scheme. Robot Alchemic Drive. Phenomenal. I am super pumped to own this. This is a crazy addition to the collection. Immediately becomes one of my crazier pieces that I have in my PS2 library to add to Rule of Rose and Haunting Ground and Xenogears 3. But really, really cool game. And that's about it, guys. I hope that you guys really enjoyed your time hanging out. I'm going to put some standouts here on the screen. I'm not going to pile on all the games because like I normally do, because honestly this time it's way too many to do that. really, really cool stuff. If you guys enjoyed what you saw, let me know. Drop me a comment. I always enjoy making these collection videos for you guys. I know it's been a while, but yeah, I wanted to kind of show what I got. And I hope that you guys have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year with your loved ones. And keep gaming. This is Churrasco Voltorb, signing out.